Hi everyone, it's Patti Behan and thank you for joining me in the studio today. In this video, I'm going to show you how to heat emboss with Ranger's embossing powders. So let's get started. Alright, in this video, I'm going to show you how to emboss and then stick around to the end because I'm going to show you our different embossing powders and the different type of particle embossing powders that we carry. So to start, for basic embossing, you need a stamp, an embossing ink pad, embossing powder, and then some other tools you need are the Handle It tool, anti-static pouch, and a heat tool. I'm working on our non-stick craft sheet to protect our work surface from the heat, and then I have a piece of scrap paper to catch the embossing powder. The first thing you have to do is use the anti-static pouch and just rub it across your card. This will help the embossing powder from going astray and it won't stick to your card as much. Then you need to ink up your stamp with the embossing ink. And you don't always have to use embossing ink, but just use an ink pad where the ink dries slowly, because the wetness of the ink is what makes the embossing powder stick to the card. And then you just stamp your image down, like so. And then I'm using Princess Gold embossing powder, and you pour that over top. Let me get this out of the way. And then you remove the excess and then tap it off, and we'll put the excess back into the jar before we start to melt. You have a lot of open time before you need to start heat embossing. Once that powder is stuck there, as long as you don't knock it off by accident, it's going to stay. And then we're ready to melt it, and then I'll take my Handle It tool. This will help protect my hand from getting burned, and then we're going to emboss. Okay, and then once it's fully melted, see how shiny and beautiful that is? So if you noticed, I didn't want to talk over the heat tool. I was just holding it in one spot to get started, and then as I saw it melt, I was moving it over. So that's really it. And the possibilities are endless, and we're going to be showing more in this series of the different ways that you can mix and match your ink pads and embossing powders. So I'm just going to put all this aside for now, and I'll move on to the next thing. Alright, now I want to show you the different types of embossing powders that we have and the different size particles that they come in. First, we have our superfine detail embossing powder. This has small granules so that you use these when you have a stamp that has fine lines, and maybe for sentiment stamps. And this comes just in like our basic black, white, clear, and metallics. Then we have our regular size crystals, and this is what most of our embossing powders come in. And they come in many colors, and we'll describe those as we go along. And then you use this one most of the time when you're stamping. You'll choose this one. And then we have our ultra thick embossing powder, and this is our largest particle embossing powder, and at the present it only comes in clear. This is when you have a stamp that has a solid image that you want to emboss, or if you want to glaze over a part of your project, this is a good thing that you can use. And now let me just show you like all the different types of embossing powder and the colors. So first we have our basics, which is just colors, and then white and clear and black. And then we have metallics. And as you can see, it's not just your basic silver and gold. We have lots of colors also that have like a metallic sheen to them. Then we have our specialty powders, which is a variety of different embossing powders. We have neons, we have pearls, we have verdigris embossing powders that have different colors in them, and then we have some holographic and other specialty embossing powders that we'll be going over in our series of videos. And then here we have our mixed media embossing powders. These are embossing powders that have different particles in them to give you a textured effect for your embossing. And then we have tinsels and glitters. And these are colored embossing powders that have matching glitter and tinsel in them. So as you can see, we have a wide variety of different types of embossing powders, and keep watching this series because we're going to be showing you how to use them all and show you a variety of techniques. So don't forget to like and subscribe to our videos so you don't miss a thing. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.